I recently wrote an article about leading 4 different communication styles. That article prompted a lot of response, in particular about how to motivate each of those 4 different types of people. My name is Simon Tyson. I'm the CEO of The Real Learning Experience. In this video, I plan to answer those questions specifically about motivation. Now, before we get started, it's important that we emphasize a critical point about motivation. You as a leader cannot motivate another person. Motivation is an internal response, either to internal drivers or things in the environment around them. What as a leader you can do is create an environment that each individual is likely to respond to in a motivated way. The challenge, of course, is that that environment is different for each person. Understanding each of the 4 communication styles and what motivates them does give you an advantage as a leader. You can work on creating environments that are specifically motivating to the person that you're working with. As a brief recap, in case you didn't see that article on communication styles, we use a simple model to help understand the way each individual likes to work, likes to interact, and what they value and what motivates them. We call that model social styles. And in that model, we look at 4 different work styles: the driver, the relator, the socializer, and the thinker. To understand what someone's communication style is likely to be, we use a rule of thumb measure. It simply involves asking 2 questions. Is this person open or are they self-contained? Are they direct or are they indirect? We've included a link in the transcript of this video so that you can read more about those 2 questions if you're interested in pursuing them further. So let's look at how motivation works for each of the 4 types. And of course, it depends upon the answer to those questions. If the person you're working with is indirect and self-contained, then they're likely to be a thinker. A thinker is motivated by doing things well. They like to be precise, they like to be accurate. As a leader, you can keep them motivated by giving them tasks that give them that opportunity, but also by acknowledging when they perform well in those areas. Avoid giving them tasks that involve doing things in a slapdash way or a hurried way. There are other styles that are much better with those tasks. When you're working with a thinker, also make sure you go out of your way to acknowledge that they've done things at a high level, that they've been accurate, that they've been precise. That's what they value. Now, if the person that you're working with is indirect and open, then they're likely to be a relator. A relator really values harmony and connection with other people. They're much more focused on the people side of things than the task side of things. Give them jobs that enable them to work with people in a supportive way to show the value they bring to the team. Give them jobs and tasks that enable them to help and support the people around them. Avoid tasks that involve conflict or an over-focus on results at the expense of people. If the person you're working with is self-contained and direct, they're likely to be a driver. Drivers like to get results and they like to be in control. Try and put them in charge of their own destiny, even if it's within specific parameters. Drivers are more status focused as well. Make sure that they get plenty of recognition for both their results, but also from people who are senior, people who they consider to be influential. If you're working with a driver, avoid situations where they have little control or where there's no really tangible result they're working towards. Also, avoid situations in which they feel that they look silly. Finally, if you're working with someone who's direct and open, they're likely to be a socializer. Socializers love energy. They love the excitement of change, of innovation, of ideas. To keep a socializer motivated, allow them to work at a fast pace. Allow them to work in an energetic, interactive way with other people. Try to avoid environments that are isolated, in which there are too many restrictions on trying new ideas, or where there's too much focus on detail. So there you have it, 4 different communication styles, each of which is motivated and demotivated by different things. As a leader, as a manager, if you can work with each individual, build those things into their environment that they find most motivating and limit those things they find most demotivating, you should get the best from each of the people in your team. Thank you for watching this short video. If you find what we offer useful, please subscribe to receive alerts every time we release a new article, video, or resource.